KGO News Time 5:43. It's the Friday edition of the KGO Afternoon News.
Yay.
Rosie Allen's right there. John Bristow here. And let's laugh with some Friday funnies. What do you think?
Kurtis Matthews is here. He's the founder of the San Francisco Comedy Club. Part of the Comedy Addiction Tour starts this Wednesday at the Comedy Club. Hey, welcome to KGO.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure. I've been big fans of yours forever.
Yay.
Forever.
We love fans, and especially fans who do stuff.
Right. Well, yeah, the Comedy Addiction Tour, we're coming to town. 4 headliners that have been working all over the country. We kind of got tired of the clubs. Pat Dixon, who's been on Comedy Central, Jesse Joyce, Comedy Central, Mark Lundome, Showtime, and his one-person show on Broadway, as well as myself. We wanted to do a show that was kind of about our the funny parts of our recovery and addiction. We don't lecture anybody. We're not telling anybody not to do drugs or alcohol, because drugs and alcohol aren't the enemy. We're the enemy on alcohol and drugs. So we wanted to make it funny, and people have taken to it all over the country. This is our home base. The Comedy Clubhouse is the hottest club in San Francisco now, comedy-wise. If you pay attention to AOL and Yelp and the Chronicle, we're the hottest club in town. Sure. And so we wanted to, this is home base for us, and we wanted to kick off and have some fun. And so Comedy Addiction and the Clubhouse and the Comedy College, we have 2 clubs over there, a lounge on the 7th floor and a clubhouse on the 5th floor. It's a BYOB club. Bring your own food. Just don't cause any grief. But come for comedy. So it's a pure comedy club. It's not based on alcohol and drugs, so it's fun.
Now, Kurtis, excuse me, Rosie, you're the founder of the Comedy College.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little about that, how it works, and so on.
I don't think that there's a lot of people that wouldn't get into stand-up because a lot of what happens in some of these other places is abusive, or it's hard to become a stand-up comic. And I think there's a lot of original voices that stand-up may have lost because it was so hard starting out. I wanted to start a place unlike the places I started in Los Angeles, where people off the street, and I get corporate types, I get people that are doing it as a hobby. Everybody wants to come in and just learn how to do it. And I don't think it's something you're born with. I think people can taught to be funny, and certainly stand-up comedy, and none of them sound like me, because the last thing I want them to sound like is a shattered 40-year-old man on a Comedy Addiction tour. So they're all finding their own way.
Okay, so what is the comedy like that you perform in the
Comedy Addiction Tour?
The Comedy Addiction Tour.
It's real comedy, and every good comic, I think, is real and talks about things that are important to them and what's really going on. So, Mark Lundome works a lot of prisons and rehabs, and so we're talking about real stuff. We're talking about our struggles in comedy and our struggles in life. And all of us, we have multiple addictions. We have drug addicts and recovering alcoholics on this thing. So
how's that funny though? People are asking. I can hear them saying it.
No.
How's that funny?
You're absolutely, all pain is funny if you give it time, like for instance, what we heard about John Edwards today is not funny, you know what I mean? And it's sad. For instance, Obama's book, The Audacity of Hope, great book. Maybe Edwards' book's just going to be called The Audacity. I don't know. But anything given time. Sure. You guys are such a great news station. I found out that my wife was leaving me from you, which is, but that's the kind of stuff we talk about. I screwed up in relationships. I lost a lot of great people in my life. I've been losing women to financial guys lately. I don't know what that is. I think it's because they can count, but I'm not, So we talk about what's real. Mark talks about being insane and almost killing himself. Pat Dixon talks about being with the wrong woman and almost being killed. Jesse talks about being arrested multiple times.
And almost being killed.
Well, yeah. Well, we could throw that in.
There's a theme.
But there's no lecture there. It's just, here's our story. We're owning it. This is what's funny about it. And so it's a hilarious show. Everybody leaves saying, well, it was funny. Some people, it's heartwarming. Some people are like, oh, my God, because for them, it really is, whoa, there's a freak show. Sure. I mean, I knew somebody like that. But
well, plus it's like they can look at their own lives. And if they can no doubt relate to that, because they either will say, well, these people have been through a lot more than I have, or they're going through something similar. They can relate.
Absolutely. It was interesting. We did a radio show in New Orleans, and the guy said, we feel better now after hearing your stuff.
We got to check out the Comedy Addiction Tour starting August 13th through the 16th.
Comedy Addiction
at the Comedy Club, Comedy Clubhouse.
Location again.
Clubhousecomedy.com, sfcomedycollege.com, comedyaddictiontour.com. Love you guys. Thank you so much.
We love you, too. Thanks for coming by.
Anytime.
548 on KGO. By the way, Kurtis Matthews is who we're talking with. 548 traffic on the 8 stand.
Steve called eastbound 580.
I covered the things that I thought was important, which is the addiction tour, who the people are, what the website is, and what's going on over at our place, which is, cool. So if nothing else, it'll I could have spent more. It was great. I got to talk about the Clubhouse, the Comedy College, and the Addiction Tour, which is in 5 minutes. There you go. So yeah, I was happy with it.